Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Now, I agree with that. And let me give you my definition of influence. The definition of influence is simply the ability to move a person or persons to a desired action, usually within the context of a specific goal. Now, that's the definition, but I don't believe that that's the essence of leadership. The essence of influence is pull as opposed to push. As in the old question, how far can you push? Which is why great influencers, great leaders, they don't push. They don't push themselves on others. They don't push their ideas on others. They don't push their will on others. They're not push-y. Push is sort of like depending upon compliance. That's positional leadership. You know, you're the boss and you can tell them what to do. That's compliance. That's push. When people are pushed, okay, they may do what they're told because they don't want to be fired or punished or, you know, what have you, but they're not going to bring their best self to the table. Pull is earning commitment, okay? So how do you do that? Well, you know, how does a leader influence through pull rather than push? Well, the great leader, the great influencer, they ask themselves questions to make sure they're focused in the right direction. See, I believe we need to be internally motivated, but outwardly focused.
Welcome to the Nicholas Brown Podcast, a podcast talk show about real estate investing, business leadership, and personal development. Each week, we explore current real-life case studies about how to build financial independence through investing in real estate to build your personal portfolio through passive income models, along with interviews from the top business leaders and personal development leaders. Now, here's your host, Nicholas Brown.
Welcome to the show, everyone. This is a special episode, which is a series, one of two series, which I'm going to get straight to it because you're watching this. I want you to watch and share this if you're a leader or if you work for someone or just generally if you believe in the law of magnetism and the law of attraction, which this co-author, which this first series, I just want to break it down. Make sure you guys subscribe to this YouTube. That way you get the full episode that's coming up, episode 58, which I have two series. I broke this down into one series, just a short version, so you can get deep into it, because the purpose of this is make sure you guys subscribe, and if you're listening in, make sure you guys subscribe to whatever podcast platform, because you're going to have a treat where you can play this over and you actually can learn from this. So I broke down this full episode, which the episode is coming in a couple of days from now as I play this. This is at the time of this recording, this is when we're having worldwide events of global leaders, which this here ties in. There's two types of leadership that you have, which I want you guys to take notes when you're listening on this podcast and you're watching this. Make sure if you haven't already, make sure you listen to this, because it's tied to this different types of leadership. Go to episode 46, Lieutenant General retired USMC Robert Hederlin, which his type of leadership methods is leaders are approached, and which they're approachable, and they have magnetism. They're not pushy. They're pull, which this video is going to explain to it. It's going to be more detailed. So if you watch the teaser, the 1-minute teaser of Bob Burg, the co-author of The Go-Giver, you will understand. But if you want to get deep into this, I advise you to go to episode 46, because this is where I get, this is my perspective, and this is what they teach me, and this is similar to what Bob Burg has, and this is pretty much what's happening in the world, which that leads to episode 53. Executive coach Jody Fletcher explains cultural leadership, because it's a different type of leadership. This type of world and this time right now, you would tell the difference of global leaders. Which global leader, which we're having noise, we're not having music, we're not making music, we're not on the same frequency. This leader, there's different types of leaders. There's a pushy leader, and there's a leader that's pull. Which one you think now that the world is for? They're pulling for this person, and they're inspired about this person, and the people is for him. You will know. So make sure to go to episode 46 and episode 53. So here we go.
Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Now, I agree with that. And let me give you my definition of influence.
Okay.
Okay. And then the definition, but then I want to go a little deeper if that's okay.
Please.
Okay. So I believe that the definition of influence is simply the ability to move a person or persons to a desired action, usually within the context of a specific goal. Okay. That's by definition, influence, leadership, influence, right? Now, that's the definition, but I don't believe that that's the essence of leadership or the essence of influence. The essence of influence is pull as opposed to push. As in the old question, how far can you push a rope? And we know the answer is not very far, well, at least not very fast or very effectively, right? Which is why great influencers, great leaders, they don't push. They don't push themselves on others. They don't push their ideas on others. They don't push their will on others. They're not pushy. You never hear people say, wow, that David or that Mary, she is so influential. She has a lot of push with people, right? No, she's influential. She's a great leader. She has a lot of pull.
Magnetize.
It's an attraction, right?
That's
Magnetize.
That's what attracts me to you, sir.
And so, that push is sort of like depending upon compliance. That's positional leadership. You're the boss and you can tell them what to do. That's compliance. That's push. Now, does that ever work? Well, for the short term, you might get something done, but it's very difficult because whether you're talking about a team of thousands or 100 or a committee of 3 or whatever it happens to be, when people are pushed, they may do what they're told to because they don't want to be fired or punished or, what have you, but they're not going to bring their best self to the table. And they may even sabotage the process, when it comes to that's push. Pull is earning commitment. So how do you do that? Well, how does a leader influence through pull rather than push? Well, the great leader, the great influencer, they ask themselves questions to make sure they're focused in the right direction. See, I believe we need to be internally motivated, but outwardly focused. So the great influencer, what John David Mann and I would call the genuine influencer, they ask themselves questions such as, how does what I'm asking this person to do, how does it align with their goals, right? How does it align with what they need, what they want, what they desire? How does what I want this other person to do, how does it align with their values? How does it help them solve a problem or a challenge? How does it help bring them closer to happiness, right?
Win-win.
Win-win, exactly. And when we ask ourselves these questions thoughtfully, intelligently, genuinely, authentically, right? Not as a way to manipulate another human being into doing our will, but as a way of building everyone, like you said, win-win, building everyone in the process. Now we've come a lot closer to earning that person's commitment. Now, Dondi Scumaci, one of my great friends, wonderful leader, she has a saying when it comes to leadership, when it comes to influence, she says, compliance will never take you where commitment can go. And I think that's just such a beautiful, summation, really.
Can you repeat that? Compliance will,
she says, compliance will never take you where commitment can go.
Awesome.
So as leaders, our job is to help people buy into our vision, if you will, right? Because the leader begins with that vision, and we help them buy into it through helping them identify where they relate to that vision, right? How they fit in with that vision, how that vision benefits them as well.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Wasn't that golden? That was some golden information right there. Talk about the different types of leadership that's happening, that's known in the world. That's pushy and there's pull, which is gravitas, that magnetize, that follows in the law of magnitude. That's the purpose of make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube and subscribe to here on the podcast if you listen in, where you're going to get the full episode of the interview of Bob Burg, co-author of The Go-Giver, Business Leader. He talks about leadership, where this is any types of form, whether you're in business or just personal development. You're going to have a treat. I promise you. So, as I always end, don't condemn, don't complain, because you have a choice to make a change. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us on the Nicholas Brown Podcast. Make sure to visit our website, www.nickbrowninc.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like this show and you are a new real estate investor, then check out one of Nicholas's free reports called the Wholesale Dominator Report, also located on our website, www.nickbrowninc.com/free reports. Be sure to tune in for our next episode. And remember, don't condemn, don't complain, because you have a choice to make a change. Have a great day.